everybody. Welcome back to Kruse Control. It is Monday, May 22nd, 2023. Welcome to Kruse Control, the home of entertainment news. I am your host, as always, Brian Kruse. Welcome back, everybody, on this happy Monday. Just want to say, happy you're here. We're moving up every day. It's so great to see those subscription numbers going up. Also joining me here, as always, is the lovely Miss Sabrina Vittori. Sabrina, welcome back to the program. How are you doing today?
Hi, good. How are you?
Doing great. How's your Monday been? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Yeah, I'm not really feeling super great today, so pardon my lack of enthusiasm, but hopefully I'll be able to make it through and not pass out.
I believe you'll get it. You'll make it happen.
GR.
I believe it. But thank you for being here if you're not feeling good. Yeah, GR's back in the chat. Hey, GR, welcome back. And also joining us here tonight is the man from IPA Sessions podcast. If you want to hear some great conversations with people talking about what they do for a living in the entertainment industry, you got to listen to Jacob's conversations because IPA Sessions is amazing. Jacob Rolland, how you doing tonight, Jacob?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
Happy
Welcome
Monday.
back. Happy Monday. That's Sober Monday. You came back for another sober day.
That's right. I'm sticking sober right now.
It's good. It's really good. It'll be a fun day. How's your day been, Jacob? It's been good?
It's been great. Yeah. I got my kitty back from the little kitty hospital. Got her little surgery. She's all well and happy, and we're happy to have her back. Kid's happy. I'm happy. We're good. It's a good day. It's good Monday.
Yeah, good Monday. Happy to have her home. You're probably very excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
Also joining us again, one more person, everybody, Mr. Keoki, Kekaula. Keoki, how you doing tonight? Welcome back.
Doing great. I'd be doing better if the Lakers weren't down 0-3, but doing okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But they're winning right now, so it's okay.
They should be okay, right? They got time. They have some time, right?
It's 0 and 149 attempts of coming back from 0-3. So we're praying for a miracle here. We're praying for a miracle.
A miracle could come. It really could. I mean, it's Monday. Hey, anything can happen. We made it to Monday.
It's Monday.
But, because it is Monday, as always, everybody, you know what we got to do? We got to get into something because now it's time for some breaking news. All right, the very first thing I want to get into, everybody, is talk about HBO Max very fast, because HBO Max is gone after today. That's right. There's no more HBO Max. It's just Max, everybody. Starting tomorrow, the rebrand goes through, so they're going to launch a bunch of new titles, of course, on HBO Max, or I should say on Max now. We talked about before, the Gremlins show is coming out. That'll launch tomorrow. Shazam, if you haven't seen it yet, which a lot of people haven't. Fury of the Gods will be on Max tomorrow. And there's also going to be a bunch of content and more rolling out throughout the whole week with this new rebranding of HBO Max into Max. It's a big move for HBO. Hopefully it goes well. I'm not sure. Discovery Plus is with this too now. Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, ID, all wrapped up into one big network called Max. Max, as if Optimus Prime is saying Max or something to this, So it's a whole new day for HBO and for Warner Brothers, and they need it. They need some good stuff. So hopefully this works out well for them. I hope. I'm putting it out there. I don't know. We can believe in it. Have to believe in it. So that's good, I think, for them overall. I think it will be a good move, but I'm just not sure yet. Only time will tell. Something that is, though, very sad that I want to get into right off the bat here is talk about Ray Stevenson, who actually passed away. Now, this man has been in so many things, and it's very unfortunate to hear this. It kind of blew my mind. Like, he's 58 years old, and he just passed away. Apparently, he just wasn't feeling well, and he went to the hospital a few days ago, and then all of a sudden, he died. And that's all the information we have as of right now. He's in Italy. This happened on Sunday. Like I said, 58. He was born May 25th, and 64. He's about to turn 59 years old, about to be his birthday. And if you know him, he's been in a lot of things. G.I. Joe Retaliation, Dexter, Divergent, Insurgent, Thor, RRR, Vikings, Rome, Star Wars, the animated series. Yeah, he's been in so many things, right?
One of the best versions of Punisher.
Exactly. He was one of the best versions of Punisher.
Up until John Barenthal, he was the best version.
Exactly.
Yeah, I liked him so much. He was great in Dexter. I mean, again, with this whole Ahsoka thing coming up, though.
Dexter.
So good. So good. But now with Ahsoka coming up, like, I saw the trailer for that, and he was so awesome. I think, Keoki, you were here when we talked about that before. The trailer's so good with him in it, and it's like, and then that's it. It's so unfortunate.
Absolutely.
Well, thankfully in the Star Wars world, we'll probably get to continue seeing him CGI'd in there, but smaller bits, I'm sure. But it is a shame because there's a lot of other projects he was heavily involved in that were coming out and are coming out, and it's like, oh, it sucks. He was like right on that ride. Like he's been doing this for a while, yeah, but like he was really starting to get out there. It's just like, last time I was on the show, we lost another great. And it's like, here it is again. It's like, I'm afraid to come on because the next time I come on, we're going to lose the third. But, it comes in threes.
So. I know, right? I know. That's how it goes. Like, it's unfortunate we have to talk about something like this. And I saw it today and I was just like blown away. Just shocked. At that age, 258, you think you'd be fine, with modern technology, but you never know. You never know when it's done. And honestly, I thought he had a lot of roles going for him in the future, but unfortunately, this is the last we're going to be getting. So
hopefully, it could be a heart attack. It could have been something very simple and normal that happens. It's just sad that it happens.
Yeah, it's just really sad. I hope the best for his family and his friends out there, and I really hope that his legacy is honored through the rest of the projects he has coming out, because he does have some great stuff still coming. Like I said, I can't wait to see him in Ahsoka. I think he's going to be awesome in that. So fingers crossed, everything's fine with that. They don't need any kind of reshoots or anything like that, and everything's good to go, and we can just kind of put it out there for him to honor his legacy. But as that's happening, everybody, something that is coming back is Heels. Heels. Now, I haven't watched this. I figured Jacob has watched this show. I have not watched this show.
I've been waiting so long for this. Oh, I'm so happy.
But Heels season 2 is coming up, Jacob. It's coming out July 28th at midnight on the Stars app, starring Stephen Amell and Alexander Ludwig. And it's about a small-time drama series based on a wrestling league in Ural, Georgia. Family-owned wrestling promotion with two brothers. They're rivals. And this new season, they're going to actually have the possibility of getting a deal for a new streaming service to put them on the national stage. So we'll see what happens with this. Like, honestly, the idea is Heels, because if you watch wrestling at all, you know it. The bad guy is the heel. They're the bad guy. They, heels and faces. So these are the heels. The brothers are the heels.
But it's so much deeper than that. It's so excellent, because the whole point of the heels is that they're carrying that shit outside the ring with them. So like in reality, they're slowly becoming real life heels, and they got to put themselves in check and like not get carried away with the character. It's a lot deeper than that. Basically, what Heels does for wrestling is what Ted Lasso has done for soccer or European football. Like that to me, this show is my Ted Lasso. It's not the same kind of show. It is humorous, yes, but it's
a lofty comparison, bro.
It's a deep drama, and it has a lot of great humor. It has amazing wrestling bits. It has a lot of indie wrestlers that cameo in it, and they play like these. They don't play themselves. They play characters that are in the wrestling world that are similar to their indie characters, as well as CM Punk has a recurring role in the show where he kind of plays this crazy Mick Foley type character, and he's like a family of wrestlers, like him and his wife and his kid. Like, it's a whole bit. It's so well done. It's so well written. Like I said, it is, to me, it's what for wrestling, it's what Ted Lasso has done for soccer, because it has that same, like, it just, even if you're not a fan of wrestling, it makes you watch the show and you kind of go, damn, I want to check this out. Like, it gives you kind of a behind the scenes look of how that world works for these people, like what their actual life is outside of wrestling and how it all comes together. It's really fucking good. I can't say enough.
That's awesome.
I loved it.
I need to check this out. Yeah. Because I love me some old school wrestling stuff too. I watch it now and, here and there now, like I used to, but still, it's like to have that kind of perspective, put it out there, kind of like Loaded for the women wrestling too.
Yeah.
That actually has shown a light on that world that a lot of people didn't know too, and dramatized it and made it like such a great program that people just freaking love it, And it makes people appreciate the sport even more.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's good. Hell yeah. That's
all the
that's
characters. The characters are supremely well written, and like they are who they are, and the way that they mishmash with one another, the way that their stories intertwine, what one person does, another does. Like, they all have this unique storyline that works around each other, and just they really are defined very well, both inside the ring as the wrestler gimmicks and outside the ring as who they are as people. Like, it's really well done.
Gotta check it out. Keoki, have you seen this before? I know you have a wrestling history, so.
Exactly. I know enough about wrestling, but I actually saw the promos for that show, and I thought, what a great idea for a show, because that's the kind of thing that you actually want to see to help get that emotion from wrestling, that you're like, hey, I'm just a common guy who likes it here and there, but I can get into getting more history to understand, oh, this is why this guy's like this, and characters that I've been seeing for over 30 years, and understand a little bit better. Oh, okay, now I understand. Like you said, like Mankind, McFoley, all these guys that are like all these
So
down
good.
and guys near gold dust.
Have a nice day.
The classics. It's just a good way to understand it. And that's cool that CM Punk is in there because this guy's transitioned from wrestling into actual fighting to now on a wrestling show. Like, that's pretty cool that he's involved in it. So I do want to.
It's so good for him.
Yeah, that's
Sabrina's.
cool.
This is definitely not Sabrina's show. Definitely not. She's like, nah, I don't want anything to do with that. I can tell right now, all over her face.
I mean, no, I can't believe that Jacob compared it to Ted Lasso. That's
hey, look, if you like Ted Lasso, I recommend that you watch this and you tell me what you think, because that's the best comparison I have for it. It has done for wrestling.
I'm going to go out on a
what Ted
limb
Lasso
and
has done
say
for
that
soccer.
I definitely do not agree with you. However, I will watch an episode and report back. But
I'd love
Ted Lasso is literally one of the best shows on television.
I absolutely
ever.
love Ted Lasso. It's my
so to be comparing
show
some show that most people never even heard of to Ted Lasso, it just seems very. It just seems like it's a bold comparison. Yeah, everyone, dude, it's won 1 million Emmys and SAG awards.
I just now discovered it like 2 weeks ago. I've run through it because I fucking loved it.
Well,
but
there's only one season so far.
You personally, but I'm just saying, like anyone who's ever watched an award show that gives award to television shows knows what Ted Lasso is because it has kicked ass and taken names the past 3 seasons. So I'm just saying,
and it's well deserved, well earned too.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying my instinct is that's a very, very strong comparison that, in my opinion, is probably incorrect. However, like I said, I will watch it first before I come down hard on you. And when I do watch it,
Look,
and it is.
Once again, as a huge wrestling fan, as a person that loves wrestling, all of wrestling aspects, this show is to me what Ted Lasso is to football, to soccer. Like, that's how well done it is. It's not on the same level. I think Ted Lasso is a better show. I love it. But I really fucking love Hills. I love what they've done with it. And it's a really successful, smart way of writing the show. And it helps bring to life the whole indie world of wrestling. Like those high school arenas, the veterans union hall stuff that they perform in, like these small, you go to a bar and there's a ring set up in a bar and you're like, what is this? It's like, oh, it's some local indie touring show. Like that's what it puts a light on. And it's all these people trying to get over in this indie world. So we're not even talking that WWE level or that AEW level. It's not even Ring of Honor level yet. Like it's super small. It's that touring shit, and it's like the small
if there
town
was ever
stuff.
Some sort of subject matter that I didn't need more expansion on, it's certainly what you're talking about right now. But like I said, I'll give it a shot. I never woke up and said, "Gee, I need to know what the young, small indie wrestling world was like." Like that's definitely not something that's ever crossed my mind. Now, when I see it, maybe you're right. Maybe I'll be blown away and I'll love it, and I'll be happy to admit that I was wrong.
Cool,
but
works for me.
We shall see. That's right.
Just like Sabrina said, she did not need any more Fast and the Furious movies, but we got Fast 10 out right now, Sabrina. And I know you want to see it so badly, but she's told me multiple times, do we need more of this? This is not what I'm looking for, but it is out there, and a lot of people are excited about it because overseas it's been dominating. It's made $319 million globally already. 67.5 million here in the United States and Canada. Overseas, though, $251.4 million in 84 markets. Just been sweeping overseas, and they're expecting to just keep going up right now. Hence why we talked about the other day, they said they're going to do only one more. Now it's going to be 2 more movies, apparently. We're getting 11 and 12. It's a trilogy finale now because of it's doing so well. So it's good for them, I guess. They're having a good time. It only hasn't beaten Super Mario Brothers yet, but we'll see what happens with that this year because it's getting there. It's pushing up, and it's doing better than other ones. I mean, Fast 7, it's 70, or Fast 9, and Fast 9, it's 77% higher than Fast 9's opening. It's 36 above Hobbs and Shaw, 13 above 6, 17 above 7. I mean, it's been doing great. It's been really doing awesome. And overall, the Fast and the Furious has made $5.3 billion as a whole franchise. As a whole franchise. So this thing keeps kicking ass, and Vin Diesel's definitely loving the family on this one. So, and as we talked about, it's all about family. But as we were talking about on Friday, too, we knew that this was going to happen. Like, theaters here weren't as packed. But overseas, of course, they shot a lot of this in Rome. And so a lot of people packed in to see them destroy the Vatican pretty much. But I know that it's just doing great. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I just really don't. Keoki, did you see this over the weekend at all by any chance? Or have you not seen this yet?
I absolutely did not see this movie. I went and saw Guardians.
I thought you might have.
3. I can't believe
Good choice.
Yeah, James Gunn for the win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why. I agree with Sabrina. I don't know why they keep making these. after Fast 2, I was like, all right, this one actually had a little bit better feel than the first one. And then the Fast 3 came out, and I was like, oh dear God. Then Fast 4, then Fast 5, which is just ridiculous. Those poor Brazilians they killed, robbing that bank or whatever, or faking it. And after that, I was just like, I'm done. So I don't know why.
You can't be done because they're not done.
Exactly. I don't know, but I saw the production.
You lasted longer than I did.
40. Yeah, exactly. See, I'm like, I tried. I really tried, and I failed because I was like, no, I got to get out of here. I got to stop.
Well, also, it's like no one can die in this franchise either, so you never know what they're going to do because anybody can come back and they can recount everything and retcon everything.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Even the guy who's in real life dead is still showing up at the end. He pulls up in his car.
I know.
Gal Gadot, yeah, no. Like, can I see you again? You know? And he'll be back for the end of it, too. Like, honestly, he's already said they're giving him the finale. But I wasn't surprised by these weekend numbers, though. Sabrina, were you surprised by these weekend numbers at all?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, there's a reason why they keep churning out this crap. I mean, obviously people watch it, but I mean, I don't know. It's gotten to the point where it's ridiculous. Last time they were in space, I mean, it's just enough is enough. Like, how many more stars are you going to dust off and put in here? I mean, just look at the cast. I mean, I don't know. It's just insane to me. And I want it to end. Honestly, I really want it to just end. I love Jason Momoa. I heard he was a very good villain. Like, you know, when it's not $20 and like comes on my television, I might like mosey through it, like very, very vaguely while enjoying some cocktails. But other than that, hard no for me personally. I've had enough of the Toretto family. I had enough of the non-Torettos, the new Torettos, the John Cenas, the Brie Larsons. Like, please stop. I'm done completely.
They're not going to stop.
Yeah, over it. No, when I'm 90, coming. I'm gonna die to like in a nursing home, like watching Fast 75. It's just like never. It's gonna be their children. They're gonna be Toretto babies that are racing cars. Well, it's never gonna end.
It's
honestly.
the new Bond. It's gonna live forever.
It's the new How Bond. Dare you? That is another bad comparison, sir.
I'm just speaking the truth here. I'm just speaking what's look. I'm with you guys. For the longest time I avoided these movies because I just didn't fucking care. Like, I just did not care. And then thanks to my friend and friend of the show, Lexi, with her show Cinema d'Amore, they've been covering it lately. And I was chatting with them. And I was like, you know what? They told me that the last movie, they went to outer space. And I've always made this joke that you're not a real franchise until you go to space. And they were like, they're in space. And I was like, fuck, I have to watch it now. And I went back and I revisited them. And I actually ended up having a blast because I'd only seen the first 3 and kind of the 4th one. And then I started watching 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was like, man, these are fun. Like, I don't have to use my brain at all. I just sit back. I just watch cars go fast. I watch shit blow up. I watch them do impossible things. And it's really fun where half the time I'm like, that guy would be dead. Oh, and they do die and then come back and it's excellent. Like, it's really fun. So yeah, I'm totally not surprised that this movie is making a ton of money right now and that people love watching it. And unfortunately, it's like the next Bond. Like, it's the thing that's always going to come out. Eventually we'll see like who's going to play Dom Toretto now, who's going to play Paul Walker. Like,
Vin Diesel will, because he'll scan himself in there and he'll have some younger person be him, probably pop his face on that person and be like, I can say family all day, I got this shit, you know. Done.
We need
also Michelle Rodriguez,
the AI that keeps writing that movie. That's all.
That AI,
we got to destroy it.
It's probably all AI written. I guarantee it's all AI written at this point.
I've read a few of those funny AI scripts. I would not be surprised if it actually is written by AI.
Yeah.
The AI.
Thank you, GR. I am a glutton for punishment.
And as like Michelle Rodriguez said, though, she's hoping they can usher in a new class of Fast and the Furious as they slow down themselves. So she actually said that could be happening. So yeah, I feeling that they're going to do 2 more, but it will not be done. And that's kind of how it does well.
And you do 10 prequels leading up to the first movie.
You could do that. The young versions and build up and have it get to like, fill in all the gaps in the fast verse, because sometimes people don't know when to quit something, even when they're on top.
Yeah. Do we need it? No. Do we want it? Yes.
Same thing as Lucifer coming back. That's the thing I would say too. Do we want it? Do we need it? Honestly, I think it
covered why.
I know. I thought it had a great ending regardless. The fact that they were canceled on Fox, picked up on Netflix, and they got to like finish their seasons out. You know, it's pretty amazing. That doesn't really happen, like we've talked about on this show before. And they had that chance to actually go on their own. They got to have the whole God complex. Would he become God or not? Would he stay as a devil? They dealt with all that in Netflix. But the creators were actually saying that they would like to go back to the Lucifer universe, saying they'd rather like to do like another continuation of the show, or they like to have a Broadway continuity where it goes into a Broadway thing. They do a musical version, or they do an animated version. They like to do one of those. They're trying to figure it out right now, but they do not want to be done with Lucifer. They said they had so much fun making this. This thing first came out like, I mean, it's been so long, you know. It's like I said, you start at Fox and you go. Yeah, I think it was like 15. It was August of 2016 it came out, actually.
Yeah.
Then it left 2018 to Netflix, and then we're on Netflix for the final run. And Tom Ellis is great as the devil in this. I feel like he was awesome. But the fact is, he doesn't want to keep doing this either. He literally said before that he was done, like he wants to do other roles. That was another reason why they could barely keep him. But they got him to finish the show. So I don't know if you get him back. I don't know if you touch it anymore. You know, I feel like it did so well at the end. You gave it a good ending. Why mess with that? Sabrina, you were a fan of the show. What do you think about this coming back for another season, or should they leave it in the past?
No, stop. Just everyone stop. Why? This is all I say on the show. I swear every single day. Like, think of something new. Okay. That was great. You did a great job. Why don't you and your friend, the two of you, sit down and think about something else that's really cool and great and work that out for us. I'm sure we would love to see a new property from you, because that was a really great show. It was very clever. It was inventive. It was fun. It was different. Like, do that. Please don't put Lucifer on Broadway. Pretty please. With sugar on top. Don't do that. Okay. And I mean, a cartoon. I mean, I don't know, like, it's just, I feel like the animation thing, I think, is kind of as like a resurgence now of like bringing things back through. Yeah, it's really like all of a sudden, like that's like this new trend. And until like, I don't want to shoot it down, because there are some things that I said, like, that sounds really cool, or like that could be a cool thing to do. And the original thing that I thought would be good for it was to finish Ash vs. the Evil Dead, because he had said that they might do an animated, and that show ended very abruptly, and it needs to be tied up, and so I would love to see that. But like in this instance, they tied everything up perfectly. It's like one of the only shows that really ended with like a satisfactory completion. You know what I mean? Where people weren't like, oh, why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen? What about this? What about that? Like, it was very neatly tied in a bow. There are very few series that accomplish that, so I don't think you should mess with it.
Yeah, but they want to mess with this, so I don't know why they want to keep messing with things. Like, but like, you know, the animation thing can be fun. Again. It's like our friends out there that love what was that, Babylon 5, or whatever it was, Sabrina? What was that?
Yep, love Babylon 5. And I completely disagree with Sabrina on Babylon 5.
I apologize in the comments of that segment, everybody, by the way. So I had some very good conversations with some people who left some comments, and I said I was going to check it out. And also in that vein, that would also be a good avenue to use animation, because everyone is older, and you can't use them in a live action thing. So you can still use their voices and keep it true to the source material and have a continuation of that show as well. So it makes sense for that too. It does not make sense for, in my opinion.
Yeah, like last time, Jacob, we talked about Married with Children on here too. You know, doing that makes sense animated. You know, if you want to keep the same voice cast, that makes sense. But this,
I've been going. I'm sorry.
Get in there.
I was just saying, I've been gone for 2 weeks. I come back and we're still talking about the same shit. Like, they haven't done anything different. And they wonder why the writers are on strike right now. You fucking need writers.
Right.
You need these fucking people. This is a prime
These are the conversations
example.
coming up now.
2 fucking weeks ago, we talked about this shit, and they're still going, you know what? Let's turn this into a cartoon. Let's turn this into a cartoon. Let's put this on Broadway. Go fuck yourself. Pay your writers what you need to pay them, and get them to write you some original content so we can get back to fucking business.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it matters. Like, you need to have writers, they need to have their jobs, and we need people working, or it's just gonna be a big clusterfuck going on. You know, it's just not. It's why we have writers. There's an infrastructure for a reason. And with that, I want to dive into the WGA strike update right now, because as we're talking about it, let's get into it a little bit, because there are some updates happening. And the one thing I want to talk about is agencies. Well, agencies right now are going through some issues, because you think about it, no writers, less jobs, less actors going out for auditions. Now the agencies are trying to look at their budget, because you have to start cutting some corners. there's going to be layoffs coming. There will. If this goes on long enough, layoffs will happen. Right now, there's slow talk about actually reducing salaries. And, one company came forward, I think it was Verve came forward and said, we're going to reduce salaries. Some are talking about after Memorial Day to start doing that. If it's still going on, which it still will be going on, of course. CAA, WMA, APA, Gersh, Paragram, they're all saying this. So they're probably have to start cutting these costs. Also travel costs, which makes sense. Like, who's traveling now anyways? There's a strike. So they're like, we're going to cut your travel expenses. We're not going to give you much money for traveling, but stay work. I mean, you can't even work right now. You're probably at home right now. Where are you traveling? So what does it even matter? But that's going to happen. You're going to notice that going on. People will be losing their jobs, or they'll be getting furloughed for a while if this goes on longer, which it probably will. And because it's been going on so long, Zaslav, good old David Zaslav from HBO Max, Warner Brothers, was at a commencement ceremony in Boston University being like, hey, I'm so excited for you to go out into the workforce. And all these students started chanting, pay your writers. Pay your writers. Pay your writers.
So funny.
It's hilarious. But that's what happens because of this going on. I mean, Zaslav also is the first person to actually say, hey, let's take content off our streaming software because we don't have to pay residuals then, because we're paying residuals for some of these products that are ours. So this will save us money. Let's take it off for a while, stop those residuals, because people aren't watching it as much, as opposed to you own it, you have the rights to it. Why take away? Well, this is why. And this is also why we talk about Friday Disney. It's probably also why Disney's going to do the same thing too, because they have a lot of projects. They didn't make the money they thought they was going to make. They take them off. They take that tax break, and then they don't ever show it to you again. And they get some money back from the government. It's really fucking unfortunate. And all this shit's coming to light because of this strike. But I don't know. The Zaslav thing was fucking hilarious. Keoki, what do you think about that Zaslav thing? Did you see that? You see everyone laughing at him?
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. And I was like, that fool is a fucking clown. I do not like him. But that's the crap that's going away. No more HBO. It's just Max. And this guy's he's running just all reality TV with, running scripts. That's his main thing that he brought over from Discovery. And I'm like, dude, you canceled some really great HBO projects like Raised by Wolves. And I was like, dude, this show's fucking great. And you canceled that, like so many great projects just to recycle trash. I'm like, bro, you want to save money? How about creating some great content people will attach to, get those subscribers in, not regurgitate the same crap you're putting out there over and over again.
Keoki, you should be running Warner Brothers.
I would agree with you. I would have saved the DC universe.
So much logic in what you just said.
It makes too much sense, but that's because we've been there. We've seen that, and we're just like, what are you doing? What? You want subscribers? Make some great content. That's how Netflix pull people in. They're like, oh, here, look at this. Stranger Things. Boom. Got huge.
Also, shots fired in the comments. Raised by Wolves deserve to be finished. That's what Lexi said. Shots fired.
Don't worry,
shots fired.
Lexi. They will make it into a cartoon for us.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the cartoon will be coming.
Followed by a hit musical Broadway.
Come on. Why not? Zaslav. On ice, why not? Sabrina, what do you think about this? Do you think that it makes sense that Zaslav's getting booed? What do you think about these all these actual agents? Think they're actually be furloughed, or do you think that they'll be fine in the long end?
I mean, the fact is that the strike will end at some point, and everyone will, come out on the other side. And when the industry does start up again, it's going to be super busy because of all the things that have been put on hold. So I don't think that anyone is really going to, I'm sure some people will lose their jobs who are, lower end, people, but all the executives maybe take a pay cut for a little while. They're just doing smart things to keep the business running in the interim. I'm sure that they kind of had to do a lot of this stuff when COVID was happening, before they figured out all this, home stuff and all, what I mean? So they probably just implement some of those things again, maybe put some, shorten some people's work week, that sort of thing. But it totally makes sense to do so. Running a business, if there's no auditions happening right now, well, what are you doing all day? You're searching breakdowns that are this long. You're really getting paid to not do anything, unfortunately, but that is the nature of what's happening right now. And it splinters out. It's, there's so many different things that are affected by this, like all of the rental houses, all of the expendable places, like every single stage and studio, every single offshoot, like you're saying, agents, managers, casting offices, like all of these places are suffering because of the strike. It's not, a singular thing. It affects the whole industry and ripples out into anything that you could possibly imagine. I'm like prop houses, costume, everything, every single facet of this industry, which is tremendous is affected by this.
Is affected by this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at all that that they're doing these little things, and like you said, travel. I mean, those are common sense things, regardless.
Yeah.
But it's echoing throughout the
now.
industry, and everybody's feling it.
This is only the start of things like this.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we're just getting into it. It's going to be a rough couple months for this industry for sure. Unfortunately. But once it starts up again, it's going to be gangbusters, and it'll be super busy, and people will, be overwhelmed with work, and it's, it'll be good. It's just this is just going to be a tough time for everybody involved, except for Zaslav, who apparently made $200 and something million in 2 years. So he can kind of go fuck himself.
Exactly.
He made so much money.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if the producers continue to sit this out just because they can afford to right now. Exactly. But what's going to be funny is it's really going to affect them down the road. And it's aggravating because it's affecting the people that are part of this business right now. I mean, more people than just directors and actors are involved in the making of a movie. It takes a fucking crew. And this is the same shit I said 2 weeks ago. And I don't understand why they just can't meet them at the basic, simplest demand, which is, hey, just give us fair compensation. These streaming networks need to start actually paying off dividends and royalties for things that are rightly deserved by writers. That's no different than what the writers have gotten in the past from films and studios. That's all they're asking for, is to update the goddamn thing. Just update it. Keep up with the fucking times. It's just this is capitalism. This is America. This is how we fucking work. It's just like inflation and all this other shit, we continue to raise the cost of living and the wages but the wages stay the same, but everything else rises. And it's why can't we fucking keep up?
Exactly.
That's all we want. It makes no sense. And these writers deserve that. They deserve to have a fair wage. And honestly, the SAG right now, they're going to authorize it. I know they will, to strike too. And if SAG gets behind them, if the directors get behind them at the end of June, that's still at the end of June. That's still a long time away. Yes. So it's if there's no deal by then, that's not good. And on top of that, I've been hearing September. We've been saying the show too. September maybe for this to actually end. That's a long time. It's a long time, everybody. And this could really affect the business. So hopefully they end up just getting those checkbooks out and paying these people, because everyday producers and the AMPTP is losing money. So I don't know, by the end of it, they could have just paid these people and probably been fine, and they wouldn't have lost all that money over this whole strike. But that's the choice they made right now, unfortunately.
One more thing too, these streaming services should be very careful, because just like with the studios, a lot of studios have fallen. Look at Fox Studios. It no longer exists. It's bought out by Disney now. It's Disney. Exactly. It's not Fox anymore. There's a lot of classic film studios that over the years that couldn't keep up and, lost out to demands and whatnot. They no longer exist. Streaming services, if they keep this up, if they too want to push back on this and not meet simple demands, they will lose their pay, because all these people that watch their shows are gonna be like, well, I was paying for this service because the shows I liked were on here. You stopped making them, or you canceled them. You're not providing what I want. I'll stop paying it, and I'm overpriced for it right now anyway. Right. So why would I continue paying for you, Netflix? Why would I continue paying for you, Hulu? Why, Max, which is everything. It's all the same shit. I'll just go get my shit on Tubi. I don't care.
There you go.
Get over to Tubi. I'm all about Tubi. Watch the Valley on Tubi. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you can watch the Valley on Tubi.
And Zaslav, though, he's just making money hand over foot, so he doesn't care. That I love them booing him. I thought it was hilarious. Give this man some shit, because he deserves it. But someone who doesn't deserve shit is Nick Cage, because he's a fucking fan, or he's a fucking fan of the show. He's a friend of the show. He is the man of the show. Nick Cage is coming back for a new movie, everybody. It's called The Surfer.
I'm here for
I heard this, and I'm here for it too, Jacob.
This is my fucking movie.
A psychological thriller set in Australia, where Nicolas Cage comes back from the U.S. after being gone from Australia for a long time, to find that a surfer gang has taken over his beach, and he's going to reclaim it after they make fun of him in front of his child. So
love it.
I love it. A gang of surfers, Aussie surfers. Fuck yeah. This is going to go hardcore. It's going to be deadly. I can just imagine how badass this is going to be. I'm so excited.
They're starting in September of 2023 in Australia, shooting this too. But yeah, I agree. It sounds great. It just sounds great to me. I heard it and I was like, all right, Nick Cage, get that shit. Get it. He's been doing some great stuff recently. I'm every time I see Nick Cage, I'm like, we gotta talk about this. Jacob, you love you some Nick Cage. What do you think about this surfer movie? Are you gonna be there day one to see this, or what?
Oh, if I can, absolutely. I'm here for it 100%. Everything Nick Cage makes, I enjoy. And I am a huge fan of The Wicker Man, and I despise the remake he was in, but I still watched it because he was in it.
Yeah.
I'll watch anything he's in. And 9 times out of 10, I like a lot of his shit. I mean, I'm a connoisseur of trashy films, so I mean, it's not a big surprise there. But like, come on! I mean, he's riding the fucking wings of the new one he made where he played himself. I forget the name of it, but it's great. He's playing himself basically. It's amazing, you know. And then Renfield just came out where he's fucking Dracula. Like, of course you got to make a movie about a surfer gang, killer surfers. Like, come on! Like, it's the only thing that can follow up the role of Dracula is to fight a gang of surfers. Like, come on! How else do you top that role?
I know.
I just to go.
I missed Renfield, and I'm very upset about it. I really wanted to see it in theaters, but I just didn't get a chance to see it.
Too.
Same.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Sucks.
Don't worry. It'll probably be streaming on Paramount or Max or something very soon, because that D&D movie, I missed it as well. Was literally going to go see it last week. Missed my opportunity. Yesterday I watched it because it was streaming on Paramount Plus, right? Like it was only out of theaters for like a day. So I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, Renfield comes out. And I'm just going to buy it on Blu-ray before I even watch it anyway, because it's fucking Nick Cage's Dracula. Like, come on. It's awesome.
I have to say that Dungeons and Dragons movie sucked, man. I couldn't get into it.
As a guy who plays D&D, it was excellent. It was fucking hilarious.
That would be the question.
If you've ever played a game of D&D, you get all the humor. But that's the thing, it was made for D&D people. And I do feel bad that it didn't translate that well for others who are like, I just wanted to watch something enjoyable. I could totally see why some people are like, I don't understand this. I'm over here laughing my ass off, and my girlfriend's like, what are you watching? I don't get this.
It felt like a Dungeons and Dragons type of game.
Yeah,
and I was
all
like,
the humor was there.
It was a fun movie. It was cool. I was like, okay.
And I appreciate the practical. There was practical effects in it with CGI, but they had actual practical effects. I thought that was awesome. I haven't seen that in forever, and I thought it was great to see that. It's okay. It's okay, Sabrina. You don't have to like it. It's totally fine.
I know
unfortunately,
that,
it wasn't made for you, and I
don't.
wish that it had been better and had been more translatable for people like you who don't play D&D that could actually be like, this is great. This is fun, entertaining.
First of all, I enjoyed Chris Pine, and I enjoyed him and his jokes. He was funny. Like I enjoyed him. Okay. I even enjoyed the fellow from Bridgerton who was super weird and funny. My big problem it had such a great cast. My big problem is why, since you play this game, was that dragon so fat? Why was he rolling around trying to chase them? Like, what are all the dragons in D&D rotund? Are there no trim dragons? Like, isn't it called Dungeons and Dragons?
Why are you body shaming a dragon?
Like, because it's called Dungeons and Dragons. I thought there was going to be some badass.
Be intimidating, okay?
No, that dragon
the only dragon
he
over there was excellent,
fire.
and it was hilarious. Also, they clearly didn't.
I will fat shame the dragon. You know why? Because he was the only dragon in the whole entire show, and it's called Dungeons and Dragons. If you're gonna have one dragon, why is it like this dilapidated dragon who rolled after people? Like, I don't understand. It was not scary. That was not a scary dragon.
There are weird shit that happens in D&D all the time. Hell, I had a character that fucked a dragon. Like, it's awesome. You can do weird shit in D&D.
Oh my, sir.
Yeah, don't worry about
it.
Appropriate.
Is that lead girl though? The Red Witch was just like was just like Kristen Wiig from Zoolander 2. And so I couldn't get past that.
Yes.
She was Kristen Wiig from Zoolander 2. And every time she popped on the screen, I was waiting for her to go or something like that shit. You know what I mean? I was waiting for it. I didn't see it. And I was like, oh my God, did they just steal Kristen Wiig? And we were just talking about Zoolander 2. And I was just like, that's all I could see. But, you know, Nick Cage. Keoki, what do you think about this surfer movie? Do you think Nick Cage being on a beach attacking some surfer gangs is a good thing or what?
Oh, I absolutely love Nick Cage, so I got to see this. I have to still see Bear, though, under the weight of massive talent. I still need to see that, but I just haven't had time.
It was good.
But it was good. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and Pablo's in there, so I'm like, I got to see this. But I can't wait to see it. It sounds hardcore. It sounds like the most Nick Cagey thing that I should be seeing now, and I can't wait for it. I'm going to be ready.
Yeah, you got to see it. Nick Cage is just kicking some ass in it. But yeah, I had a good time with that movie in general. It was fun. Those two was a good buddy comedy together. There were some stuff I'm like, what the fuck? But you know, that's those movies though in general. Sabrina the Surfer. What's
really
up?
Quickly, Okay, so Lexi told me not to fat shame the dragon. I said that before, and I'm sorry, Rachel said that, and Lexi just said that she's a rotund dragon. Now, listen, my problem is not that there was a fat dragon; it's that it was the only dragon. Like, there's this dragon, all the dead people. All the dead people were running after this dragon, and he like shows up, and he's like can barely get on his feet and walk, and then he's like blowing fire and rolling after them. Did you not see his little wings?
He did. He slid down the.
He slid. He could barely move, and it would have been hilarious if there were several dragons and that was one of them. But I was like, I don't understand how this is the dragon, like Dungeons and Dragons, the dragon. For someone who does not play the game, it was great. It was just an odd choice to me.
In each dungeon crawl, you face a different dragon. That was just one of many. Don't worry, they'll make a sequel. It was successful enough. They'll make a sequel.
I just was expecting like a dragon that was like from Shazam, like one of those like serious, like oh my god, that dragon scares the crap out of me, dragon. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That was
that's all I'm saying. I just wanted to clarify that. I love you guys. And I don't know what this hidden dragons thing means, but whatever. Yes, to that, I guess.
I don't know.
Surfer, it sounds super fucking weird, but that's totally on brand for Nick Cage, and I am definitely here for it because I love him.
Yeah, I guarantee he'll kick some ass in it. It sounds fun. It sounds like you're right. Something that he would do. That's just
weird.
Well, yeah, but that's fine. I'm down for some super weird Nick Cage movies. Come on,
sure.
Like that Renfield's the same thing. I'm super down for that. Like let's bring it on.
Super high. Like there's a surfer gang in his home beach that he just came back to, and they embarrass him in front of his son. Like this, it just seems like it seems like something like my nephew would say, like pitch as an idea for like a movie. You know what I mean? Like it seems odd. I'm into it, but it seems odd.
I just hope Nick Cage gets a great tagline for this. I hope he has like some sweet one-liners where he's like, "It's time to put some shrimps on the Barbie."
Right.
Gotta be
I think he's gonna say "surf's up, bitch" at some point.
I would love to see him do an Australian accent. I kind of want to see that. I want to see Nick Cage do an Australian accent, and I want to see is he gonna fully maintain it, or is he gonna fucking Kevin Costner Prince of Thieves it? Like I want to know how he does it. I'm excited for this. There's so many possibilities with this movie. I cannot wait. It's so exciting. I'm like a little
just like a surfer gang. I just want to see him on a surfboard. You know what I mean? Just Nick Cage on a surfboard is enough for me. I'm like, what are we doing here? Exactly. I don't know. I'm down for it. Talking about a man in his element. Anytime he's playing a character, I'm down for it because Nick Cage loves being on screen. He loves acting because he loves dinosaur bones. I think that's where he spends all of his money on. But good for him, man. Keep going, Nick Cage. Keep fucking going. Unlike Miley Cyrus, who says that she just can't keep going because apparently Miley Cyrus doesn't want to be on stage much more, at least in big arenas. That's what she's saying, because apparently this has been coming out. It's a little bit of hot goss out there. So let's talk about some gossip here about Miley Cyrus. She's saying that she can't handle it because it's very isolating being on stage with thousands of people. There's no connection. There's no safety. It's like singing for hundreds of thousands of people isn't really like the same thing that she fell in love with before, she was saying. Rather, performing to a smaller, more intimate space with her friends and family is more for her. But like this is part of the job. Usually when you're a composer, a singer, a musician, a rock star, all this, you get in front of the big crowds. It's part of how it always works. Her last big tour was in 2014, 2015, 78 shows. After that, she said she just doesn't want to do it again. Has a new album out, Endless Summer Vacation. Flowers has been like number one on Spotify, and it was the fastest track to 1 billion on Spotify in 112 days, which is crazy. So like people are digging her stuff. They're digging all of her new music, but she doesn't want to go out there and do concerts. But this is how they make their money normally, right? Isn't this usually how it's like the bread and butter for all musicians? Because the Spotify deals aren't as good as it used to be. Record sales aren't the same. So can she do this, or is she just shooting herself in the foot with her career, Sabrina? What do you think?
Oh, sorry. I don't think she's shooting herself in her foot. I think people are still going to like her regardless. She's Miley Cyrus. She has a very, very wide spanning fan base because there's people who were watching her when she was doing Hannah Montana that are like, her age that are still her fans, but she's also still constantly captivating younger audiences as well. So she has, I believe, like a group. Jesus, that is a picture. Thank you for that.
I was waiting for it.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, that was slightly distracting to see whatever's happening over there on that Vogue. I think this is where she did that interview. I think she is like she's at that point of her career. Like she's been even when she's like not around, she somehow manages to stay relevant, whether it be by marrying a Hemsworth or getting naked somewhere or like being pansexual. Like she always is around, and she does it in like a very doesn't give a fuck, does what she wants to do kind of way, which I appreciate as a person, that she really doesn't give a shit what people think about her. And I think that there's a lot of pressure placed on, young people and old people, you know what I mean? But she really is just like, this is me. And I don't really, you can see everything, like my scars and all. And I appreciate that about her. I don't, I don't really relate to her music. It's a little bit poppy for me personally. But I don't have anything against her. I like that she lives her life and does what she wants to do. I'm sure she will perform. She's performed at like some Super Bowl events. She does the Grammy. She will perform. She just doesn't want to go on a world tour with these huge giant arenas, playing to bazillions of people. I'm sure she'll still tour plenty. And there'll be plenty of opportunities to see her live. I just don't think she wants to do it in that capacity. And to be fair, she hasn't done a tour like that since 2014, wrapping up in 2015. So it's been, whatever,
we also
8
had a
years.
Big pandemic. There's been a lot that's happened in
That
between.
was 2 years
there,
of 8 years, but still, everyone else is back touring. Like it's still been quite some time since she's toured, and it certainly hasn't hurt her album sales. So I think she's going to be just fine.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I still think that it's like, I can't believe she'd say that. I know their fans are excited to see her, that they won't see her now. I feel like she's limiting herself, but then again, maybe she's branching away from this. I mean, you have a new album come out, you would think you have to promote it better. I don't know. Jacob, what do you think about this situation? Do you think that she should be touring, or do you think that this is fine and she's able to do that at this point in her career?
Honestly, kind of like what Sabrina was saying, I have nothing against her either. I actually enjoy her music. It doesn't really bother me one way or another what she decides to do. I think there's possibly one of two things. One, maybe she's like me, and since the pandemic, she just doesn't really care for crowded spaces anymore. I can relate to that. I get it. I don't really want to go to crowded spaces anymore either. Or two, what's the best way to get hype for your new tour? Say you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
True.
Then those tickets go on sale and it happens, boom, sold out.
Yep.
People are hungry. She has fans. She has loyal fans. They range the age spectrum, everything. Like I think she could easily sell it out if she decides to do it. So it's one of those two things. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe she really just doesn't care for crowded spaces, but she'll probably still do the tour because she'll be good to her fans, and she's still a musician at the end of the day. She likes her music. She likes to sing. She likes to perform. If that's what she loves, she'll continue to do it.
It's just another retirement, GR says. Yeah, I can see that.
She's pulling a Jay-Z.
Yeah, just like putting it out there, be like, and then it creates some buzz. Then eventually she sells out and makes, billions and billions of dollars, Keoki, are you kind of following that same world? You thinking the same kind of thing? Or what's your thoughts on Miley Cyrus's new career path?
Yeah, I mean, she's been, just like Sabrina was saying, like she's captured all the audience that were on her show watching her as a kid grow up into a young lady that performs. Now she's an older woman performing, but also trying to still captivate her audience and, bring in a new audience. So bring in those followers, bring in those people that want to see her and, jump on to her bandwagon. And the best way to do it is to say, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to have this show as big as these other shows that have been around. So that makes perfect sense. I'm not one of her biggest fans, but I do understand and see the changes that she's gone through, from being like a kid that's on TV to just being her own person and getting her own vibe. I think she's doing great. And I think it's an awesome way to get more people in to sell tickets.
Keoki, you're rocking out to what was that? Wrecking Ball? What was that one? What was that?
Wrecking Ball? Oh, maybe.
What was that?
No, Party in the USA.
What was that?
Or something?
I can't think of the name of that song. I'm not a big Miley Cyrus fan either, but yeah, but I could see that was a good moment in Free Guy when they used that song in Free Guy. What was that song, Sabrina? Wrecking Ball.
That's right.
I don't know.
It wasn't the Free Guy song Mariah Carey. That was the Mariah Carey song.
But they used the Wrecking Ball part when they were
at the end
level. It was
when he goes running, he goes to jump out, and then he misses it or some shit, and he dies.
Right. Yeah,
but
that was
Mariah
actually
Carey
very funny. It was Wrecking Ball, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about the song you heard every morning when he woke up. I was like, that was Mariah Carey. I think.
Mariah Carey, yeah. But I don't know. For her, I guess whatever, she's doing her thing, and you're right. I can see what Jacob was saying earlier too, being like, "Oh, this is just a ploy to get the butts back in the seat later on," and to kind of be like, "No, I'm not doing that anymore." But yes, she is. And I don't know, we'll have to wait and see for Miley. It is what it is. Hopefully that, her stuff will keep doing well for her and she'll find her path. And if it is not being on these big sold out stages anymore, I imagine she'll find a way, as she has since she's been a kid, because she's been kicking ass for a long time, since Hannah Montana. So I remember seeing her. Scandalous. She was on that show, by the way. Scandalous.
And she successfully separated herself from Disney.
Yeah.
That's like one of the toughest things for a lot of these musicians to do. I think her and Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, I'll give her that too, are probably the only three from Disney that have been able to fully separate themselves from that.
And Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, but where is she?
Very hard to do. Once they get you in that Mickey Mouse Club, there's no going back, man. You're locked in. Huh? Mickey's gotcha forever. Forever. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. He's just keep on to you forever. And speaking of Disney, that leads me to our featured story of the night. All right, everybody, I want to talk about Disney, but really Marvel. I want to talk about Echo the series. So Echo the series is finally going to be coming out in November, right? November 29th. But apparently there have been a lot of issues with this, everybody, because this is the first Disney Plus show they're dumping all at once. They're not doing a weekly thing. It's all going to drop November 29th, and that's it. Kevin Feige apparently was saying that he thought the first cut of it all, it was unreleasable. That's what they're saying from insiders. Unreleasable. He watched it. He thought it was really bad. They shot 8 episodes. And he said, can we cut it down to 4 episodes or maybe 6 episodes and make it still work? Or what can we do with it? And there was apparently a lot of issues in post. And then they decided, well, let's just do a massive reshoots. So they pretty much reshot the whole thing. And now even after reshooting the whole thing, they're just going to drop it all at once and call it a day. And it's the same time Loki's coming out in October. This is coming in November. Loki's still releasing weekly. But this will be one big massive dump on Disney Plus. And it makes you wonder, like, is it because it's the first one they do not have faith in? Is it going to be bad? Or is it, just a new strategy? Maybe this is all just us guessing and being like, oh, something's wrong and nothing is wrong. But Echo is about the adoptive daughter of Kingpin, a deaf Native American woman who possesses the ability to perfectly copy other people's movements while being a highly capable martial artist and acrobat. And of course, if you watched Hawkeye, she first appeared here, and now this is tying in with the Daredevil universe. Charlie Cox is in this. You also Vincent D'Onofrio is back here as Kingpin too. So like you have some tie-in to Daredevil, and it's going to continue that whole storyline moving into Daredevil Born Again. So you would think this would be a big thing for Disney to have good and for Marvel to be a big show. But apparently they're not believing in it this much, which is very unfortunate to me because I like the idea of the character. They were playing off the comics a lot with her actually shooting Kingpin at the end of Hawkeye. Playing into that, she was apparently a huge part. I don't really know much about her besides a little bit I know, and I'm kind of interested to see if she's going to be a good addition. But this makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. Keoki, you probably know well about this character quite a bit. What do you think about this coming out that maybe she doesn't have the best show coming to Disney Plus?
I mean, I love Daredevil, love Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, love it. I like seeing her character, and it was in Hawkeye. It was really cool seeing her develop and how she's going to react to it. I don't know as much about her character as I'd like to, but to hear that it was unwatchable or, that they couldn't save it, they were just going to can it, that's really crazy. So I would have liked to see what it looked like before those reshoots, because that sounds like the B team that was shooting, or C or F team that was shooting, what was this space? Iron Fist season 1. Like,
oh yeah,
I never watched
all
of
God.
it, but I knew it was. I see in a couple of scenes, and I think I saw episodes like 1 and 3, and I was like, this is really bad, almost as bad as Defenders.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, this is really bad. So it must have been like that. I don't know. I want to see.
I couldn't even watch that
before they fixed it.
I couldn't even watch Iron Fist or ever. I was like, this is not for me. And I could at least get through Defenders because, it was at least teaming everybody up, which was fun. But that was before Marvel got the reins of this. So they've had the reins to it. So how does this happen? That's the question. How does this happen? Sabrina, what do you think about this?
I mean, I'm not really too honestly excited for this in the first place. So I'm not really around. They're like, it's like Star Wars now. Like there's like dropping another thing in your lap, and it's like kind of lost its luster for me, honestly. And I feel like everything used to be like, not everything, but like I was much more interested in knowing, you know, what was going to happen, and looking forward to a series because of the way that they interconnect things. And I feel like the TV shows has kind of diluted that a little bit. I enjoyed Loki a lot, so I'm looking forward to the second season of that. But you know, they kind of just lost me. It's just like oversaturation of the market's too much with these TV shows. You know, some of them are really good, some of them are okay. It's just like I just can't do it anymore. Plus, they're doing this whole new Daredevil thing, you know, with 22 episodes that I'm looking forward to watching that. Like, I don't understand this having Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox in it. I don't know how it could have been so like unreleasable or whatever they said. I mean, they're both amazing, and they're both very good at their characters by now. Like they've been doing it for a very long time, you know, and she was, I don't know. I don't know if this is all hype surrounding it just so that it stirs up, like kind of like you were trying to say about the Miley Cyrus thing. Like maybe it's just stirring up all this, oh my God, what the fuck? And then when it drops, everyone's going to watch it to see how shitty it is, but then it's going to be great. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know the angle here. I'm not really super looking forward to this. So it really doesn't, I don't give a shit one way or the other, to be perfectly honest.
It really could be just like, you know, keeping expectations down though, too, you know, especially if they did have to do massive reshoots, because that could happen, you know, and Kevin Feige has even gone on record saying that the worst Disney Plus shows that are out there, people have given shit, at least are still higher than everything that's been on prime time. So he's like, we've still been doing great. So regardless,
what kind of person is not watching like dailies or watching episodes as they're cut together? Like he just sat down and watched the entire thing and he was like, this is unreleasable. We shall redo everything. Like that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like it sounds, unless he was like, you know, I don't know, in Argentina for the past 9 months and unable to get any mail or have internet connection. And so he was not stateside, so he couldn't see anything that they were doing. It just doesn't make sense to me that this is possible the way that they're describing it. You know what I mean? So I don't really know how much validity I put to the whole thing. I'm sure there were reshoots. Yeah. There's reshoots for everything. And they especially Marvel. Marvel loves a good reshoot. But to say that they reshot the whole series just seems highly unlikely. And it would also be like all of the higher-ups were not paying attention to what they were doing and being like, this sucks. And they're just letting them run and piss away money to shoot this. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I know. And it's the same writer from Hawkeye, too. So you would think that they'd have some kind of swing going on their writing and their style and how the episodes are coming out, and these are being reviewed all the time too, so I'm skeptical too. But I mean, I don't know, but they're dumping it all at once, which is weird. Jacob, what do you think? Do you think that maybe the fact they're dumping it all is they don't have as much belief in this franchise or this series as other ones, or do you think that this is just all hype?
I think it says a lot that they're dumping it all at once. I also think that Marvel itself has been going downhill for a while. They need to go back to basics. And, you know, just because I like saying this, I think they're realizing more and more they really dropped the ball when they let James Gunn go. I mean, just look at Guardians 3. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Guardians 3 was so awesome.
And look, I'm a Marvel fan. I enjoy a lot of Marvel content and comics, but I am eagerly nibbling at the bit here, waiting for the DC Universe by James Gunn. And once again, I'm just going to rant about James Gunn because I fucking love James Gunn. Marvel fucked up. That's it.
Yeah, he's got a great emotional tone with it. It's gonna breed everything that it was missing with Zack Snyder's universe, which was just bland, dark, and sad. And I'm like, I just watched Batman v Superman Fan Edition, and I was like, man, this is a great, you know, kind of way to start, but you are missing so many beats here. And a Man of Steel, which would have just you guys threw away $700 million on Man of Steel, and then on Batman v Superman, literally the first movie with both of them in it, you guys threw away $1 billion, $1.3 billion easily, because that would have been Avengers level money.
I watched that 4-hour director's version that they begged for him to release, and I'm like, it still doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It makes more sense.
It makes more sense, though. It makes more sense.
I guess, it was way better. It was way better than the other one.
And that says a lot. If that was way better, that says a lot.
Exactly.
Because it still didn't make a lot of fucking sense.
Right. Because you're missing. You're like, wait, you're showing Joker at the end, but like, how are you going to connect these later on? It's like, oh, you could have at least let.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah,
You're not going to see anything ever again from this. Never. Which is unfortunate for people that are fans of it too. But I was a bigger fan of the Snyder version than the Joss Whedon version. But then every time you start cutting and just trying to make a new narrative out of something that you have, it's never going to be right. It's not going to be cohesive.
Nice,
and it wasn't, unfortunately. They jumped the gun. They did jump the gun. It's very unfortunate for them. And like you said, like Guardians was fun. It's very sad a lot of ways too, but still a great send off for a lot of these people. And not the ending I expected. I'm gonna tell you that. Not the ending I expected. But that's James Gunn though too. He has a way of bringing it in, and he delivers. He just delivers. And unfortunately, DC hasn't been delivering. Marvel, again, this phase has not been delivering. A lot of fans have been saying that has not been delivering the way they hoped it to. And something like this, even when I heard this, like Sabrina said earlier, I'm like, why are they going to do this, an Echo series? Like, I mean, I like the character, but like, does she need her own spinoff? Does this really make sense? And maybe at the end of the day, it didn't make sense to do this.
Oh, look, Disney owns Marvel. Disney owns fucking Star Wars. I think they need to take Jon Favreau and bring him back to the Marvel universe. Be like, please help.
Absolutely.
Please help.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people forget Jon Favreau single-handedly is the reason why the Marvel universe is successful.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
He saved them. He saved Marvel.
And if you don't have James Gunn, your last play here is to bring Jon Favreau back. That's it. Bring him back.
Bring him back.
I think he's got his hands full with the Star Wars situation.
Yeah.
Well, he can leave Dave over there. Dave's running it right. You just say, Dave, let's check in every
you got this,
days.
man.
And then, because I think Marvel needs him back. They do.
Yeah.
And Star Wars is looking great with him. So I'm like, it
might be good. They also need Denzel Washington to play Kang. That's all I'm saying. I'll say it one more time. Denzel Washington for Kang.
Oh, wow.
Hashtag Kang.
Hashtag Kang.
That's what I'm saying. Denzel Kang. Hashtag Denzel Kang. That's what I want. That's what I want.
If we can't,
I need to
let's
see
get it trending. Okay. Okay. Come on. Okay. I put it out there all the time.
Exactly.
Anyways, everybody, I'm just saying we'll have to see about Echo because I'm not sure about this. Hopefully, Marvel is just giving us some kind of weird thing. These are just insiders saying stuff. Hopefully, it's going to be okay. It is odd. It's all dropping at once. And maybe it's something they're just trying. It might just be. Or maybe it's shit. Only time will tell. We'll find out in November. Unfortunately, it's my birthday time, so hopefully I don't get a steaming pile of shit called Echo for my birthday. I hope not. Anyways, everybody, as always, thank you for being here on Kruse Control. Jacob, before we go, tell everybody about IPA Sessions one more time while you're here. I want everybody to check out your podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, IPA Sessions, a podcast for independent artists. Check it out. It's on all streaming platforms. Find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Anchor FM, or Spotify Radio, whatever it's called now. Just if you got a podcast somewhere you can listen to, you can find IPA Sessions. It's also on YouTube now, IPA Sessions Podcast, and on TikTok, IPA Sessions Podcast. It's all one word. You can easily find it. Check out clips of artists. If you're not sure what episode you want to check out, but you're curious about what they have to say, check out the clips on YouTube and on TikTok. It'll give you a little introduction of who these people are. Also have an Instagram you can follow. It's IPA_sessions_podcast, I believe. It's real simple to find. We have new episodes I release every 2 weeks, and I just put out a new episode this Friday that just came out, interviewing Nick, who talks about his short film, The Veil, which he's trying to turn into a series, much like Brian did with his show, The Valley. So everyone can learn a little bit from this. It's excellent. I have great talented artists that come on, and I love hearing their story. And if you feel like you just can't do it, listen to the podcast. Listen to these people talk. They'll tell you about all the bullshit they had to put up with, and they still got it done. It can be done.
Still make it happen.
You can do it.
You just have to persevere and push.
Hey, there you go, Keoki. I knew I liked you, Keoki.
Nice. Yeah.
It's great stuff. It's good stuff.
Well, everyone, check out IPA Sessions Podcast. It's a great show. You'll have some fun, great stories. Jacob, thank you so much for being here again, as always. Love having you on the show.
It's been
Thank you for taking some time out tonight. And Mr. Kekaula, Keoki, thank you so much for being here tonight. Hopefully you had a great time here. Hopefully you had a great Monday. It's been a nice day so far, right? Sun was shining here in beautiful California. It's always a good day.
Heck yeah.
Sabrina, thank you as well for being here. As always, appreciate you being here on Kruse Control.
Of course, thank you.
And everybody out there, please like and subscribe. Join our Patreon if you can. We're at 358 subscribers right now. So just keeps going up. We went up like 50 this weekend or 60.
Amazing.
So just, it's because of those fucking chinchillas out there. That's all I'm saying. So like I say, as always, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cousins, tell your uncles, tell your aunts, tell your nieces, your nephews, your big cousins, your little cousins, your small cousins. Like I said, those fucking chinchillas, they've been telling the word, spreading it everywhere. They've been beating some fucking skunks up and knocking them into submission and be like, fucking tell your fucking skunk family to check out Kruse Control. And that's where they're coming from, I'm swearing. Anyways, everybody, tell everybody to check it out. Tell Lewis, that fucking raccoon, I love him so much. And as always, everybody, I hope you had a great time tonight. And I guess we'll see you back on Wednesday, everybody. Yeah, see you on Wednesday. Have a great one. Thank you again, everybody. Take care. See ya.
Bye, guys.